It's called sociogenic suicide, laying with a white woman so I don't have to look at a child that's as ugly as I consider myself. Sometimes I hear sisters say, I want to marry a Chinese man so I get straight hair. I'm going to go marry me a white man so he has green eyes. That's a damn shame when your oppressor's phenotype becomes your ideal. We got to get black, the blue, black, purple. Did you know that in traditional African society, ancient Nile Valley culture, if your skin was not purple, you can never be a Christ? In fact, one of the names for Osiris was Lord of the perfect blackness. There's a divinity in blackness. And stop thinking that lightness and blackness are opposites. They're two parts to the same reality. It is the black womb of the black mother that gives birth to light. There could be no light without the dark because the dark gives birth to the light. Well, you know, brother, they raped our women for so long. You know, I'm just trying to get some revenge. Silly ass hoteppers. That's what they tell me. And 99% of black-white relationships is black men with women who got less than what they have educationally, materialistically, politically, and financially. Don't tell me you can't reject her. All through grad school, those white women came at me. All 3 masters in the doctorate. And I knew why they was coming at me. Because they was born poor white trash. And when you born poor white trash, you ain't allowed to marry Donald Trump. When you marry born from poor white trash, you don't get Bill Gates. When you come from poor white trash, you can't marry George Bush's son. Because white folks of the aristocracy, they never marry down in status. So if you're a white woman trying to get you a man with some status and some education, get you a Negro. After all, they have no interest in preserving their racial species. You Negroes go crazy over white women. And I don't see nothing attractive about them, and I ain't being disrespectful. I work with them, I see them, they ain't got the cuts I like or none of that. Damn that. I will never give up them G's. No backside, none. Can't cook. I remember my great uncle dated this white woman. I went over there to help him do some stuff, and she made us some turkey sandwiches. That was the nastiest shit I had in my life. The mayonnaise was like this thick. The turkey was all thick and shit. I'm not no caveman. Give me a real sandwich. I'm looking at him like, this how you eat? Damn, family. They ain't got no seasoning in their food and none of that stuff. And that's who you wifing out? And soon when she hit her 40th birthday, her skin starts sagging because there ain't no melanin and collagen in there. Start falling all apart. Looking like your mother instead of your wife. All this hanging, neck all hanging. Wrinkles and shit, bald spot. I don't see how y'all brothers do that. Oh, yes, I do. You love white people. And sisters, don't let him come crawling back to you. Because he start missing that African thing and that African food. African booty, you better cut it out. Shoot, I've had trouble dating sisters who dated white men because there's something about that. What is going on here? Your womb is a golden gate. You don't go let nobody pass up in there. White men got a little thing where they call jungle fever, and I've heard them talk about it before. You ain't never really had sex until you've been with a black woman. And they will manipulate you, black woman, into thinking they really care about you just so they can get between your legs. And once they got what they got, they play with you a little bit longer, then they drop you like a bad habit. And ain't nothing worse than having a white man look in your face and tell you the reason why I ain't marrying you because you black. They do the same thing with black males. White women wanted to experience that sex, and then after they get it, they'll drop you like a bad habit. Using you. And ain't nothing more disrespectful than a black man stalking a white woman. Head over heels over that. Ew. I got some elders who don't play that. I know 3 elders right now whose children are not allowed in their house. That's right. That's called principle. And we got to start raising our children with principle. Certain things you don't do, and if you do it, your ass is cut. Wish my daughter would bring a white man in my house. Won't be daddy no more. Certain things you don't do. We done been through too much with them. Something about our DNA don't want that no more. Garvey said, we need black economic power. You know what that means, y'all? That means we got to build black banks, y'all. We keep talking about black business, but where's the banks to finance the business? If all we talk about is black business without no black bank, do you know what that means? That means all your money in this church is sitting in a white bank. And guess what the white folks do with your black dollars? They use it to finance white folk to gentrify South Central. That's right. I'm telling you, even if all of us organized and put our money in the same place, if it's in a white bank, it benefits white folk more than it can ever benefit us. The holding institution must be black so we can all tap into the wealth and use it as we need it. They're going around telling you black folks are lazy. And that's why we ain't got no institutions. They say, look at the Africans, your Africans, brothers and sisters, they come over here and look what they do for themselves. Look at the Chinese, look at the Koreans, look at the Arab, look at the East Indian. They got banks, they got schools, they got hospitals, and you people been here for 500 years and you ain't got nothing. Don't blame the white man, blame your own lazy self, but you're leaving something out. Everybody you named comes from an identified international homeland. And they show up in America with a line of credit from the bank from their native land. And if they can't get it from the bank in their native land, they could damn sure get it from Wells Fargo and Chase Manhattan. I'm telling you the reason why everybody passing us, y'all, is because they have access to organized wealth. And they got you thinking about a small business. No damn small business. Come and get a $500 loan for an ice cup stand. This is how they play with black folks. Come and get this $1,500 grant. You could open up a bootleg DVD table. Stop laughing, Queen Mother. Small business. And while you off doing some small business, they building another Walmart. The Arabs buying 10 gas stations at a time, and they telling you about small business. Brothers and sisters, don't fall for that. We need big business. 40 million of us. We need big business. We need to be able to put black men and women to work. That's why we don't get no respect from our young folks, because you can't do nothing for them. Respect my elders for what? Can they get me a job? Can they keep me out of jail? What can you do for me? And then Garvey met his fate in the Black Star Line. So he had the newspaper, he had the banks, the businesses working on the bank. He had the schools, the colleges, the restaurants. Everywhere you go, Garvey and the UNIA had businesses. And then he said, you know what? I'm a contradiction because I got these businesses, but I don't have no distribution network. See, a lot of y'all miss this when we talk about we leave our banks and we leave our distribution. You selling your shea butter? Well, you want to sell that to black folks all around the world, but you got a problem. We ain't got no black. Y'all remember what happened to Puff Daddy a couple years ago? He lost his distribution. He's the richest man in hip hop and can't even get a DVD out because he ain't got no distribution. He had to wait for the Jews to come to him and say, we'll give you a deal, but at this price. Jay-Z, he ain't got his own distribution. Do you realize we're the only people without a distribution? Where our black ships at? You want to send your shea butter, your pocketbooks, your clothes, your vegan food products all around the world. Who can you go to black to fly, float, bus, trip, and train your project around the world? You got to go to white folks. They own it. And you talk about black business without black distribution. So Garvey came with the Black Star Line. The white folks had the Green Star Line, the Titanic. To that shit song. And you know why it sunk? Because they didn't allow black folks to be on that boat. If you were on that boat, you were there because you was cleaning and putting the coal in the engine. So I think Mami Wata and Yemoja and Olokun, I think the water deity said, you want to keep black folks off of this shit? I'm going to crack it. Boom. Garvey said, we're going to have a Black Star Line. Black people shouldn't have to float second class to nobody. And contrary to popular belief, the Black Star Line was not a failure, y'all. It transported goods around the world. The Black Star Line put people to work. Yes. It lasted for a while, but the reason it ultimately crumbled wasn't because anything Garvey did. There was a paid FBI agent working for the Black Star Line. His name was Captain Joshua Cockburn. This is the black man Marcus Garvey went to and said, I need your help. I want to buy some ships for black folks. And I don't do shipping, so I need a shipper I can trust. Cockburn was a captain, seaman. Garvey went to him. He didn't know he was an FBI agent. And this man influenced Marcus Garvey to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for boats that was only worth hundreds. And that's how the Black Star Line suffered because of the FBI. Did you know J. Edgar Hoover got his start? Do you know J. Edgar Hoover's first job? He was a nobody until he destroyed Garvey. In fact, it wasn't even called the FBI yet.